Hey Tech Fam, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. And in my previous video, we talked about the top 5 best tech of 2024, which if you haven't checked that video out, link will be in the description down below, or you can check out the icon in the top right corner so you guys can see that. Or you could, watch the video to the end and then click on the end card to go see that video. And also, if you haven't become a Discord member, which you totally should, I did put a video on the top tech that I not currently own. So, if you guys haven't become a Discord member yet, you definitely should. I have some Discord server exclusive videos planned and on the way. But anyway, instead of taking a look back, why not we just take a look forward and just make our own wish list and expectations from Samsung, Google, and Apple to make improvements in their next devices in 2025. Because as a tech enthusiast myself, I want to see exciting tech. And not that, this year's tech was boring and plain, I just want a little bit more excitement. So, why not I just create my own wish list of what I want to see from Samsung, Google, and Apple for 2025. And, it's up to them if they want to fulfill it or, maybe they check some boxes off. But, without further ado, guys, let's hop right in. Alright, so actually before we get into the video, I just want to say that we're actually not going to talk about all 3 companies in one video because this would be too long of a video. So, we're just going to talk about Samsung for this video, and don't subscribe, click the bell, as we're going to talk about Google and Apple later on in the week for my expectations from them. So, again, subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss out on that. But anyways, let's dive right in. Right, for Samsung, I want them to focus on 2 of their main series, the Galaxy S line and the Galaxy Z line. So, let's talk about the Galaxy S line. So, the Galaxy S24 was a little bit an exciting phone, I'm not gonna lie. It had Galaxy AI, the S25 Ultra got some kind of new improvements, but I think Samsung could go big next year with the Galaxy S25 series, and I want Samsung to just hit these 3 things I want them to focus on, which are screen, battery, and cameras. If Samsung can focus on those 3 things that I'm going to mention in this video, then Samsung can make a killer series and they can totally make this the best series for 2025. So, let's just focus on the Galaxy S25 Ultra first. So, to me, the Ultra line has been kind of the put every big feature into this one phone here. Now, the Galaxy S20 series was the first to do that. It had a big camera, a big battery, it had a larger screen, it implemented the S Pen, and with all of that, it kind of, made this a very heavy hitter phone, a very flagship device, which, it set the standard for. But I feel like Samsung could go a little bit more. So, with the screen, I want Samsung to number 1, make a little bit more taller and wider. Now, 6.8 inches might be fine, but why not go back to 6.9 inches like the Galaxy S20? The Galaxy S20 Ultra, was that size, so maybe they could go back to it. And maybe while they make it 6.9 inches, let's just give it a brighter display too. I don't know, peak brightness, I'm thinking 3000 nits. I think that'd be perfect for sunlight. The more brighter your phone is, the more you could see in sunlight. And I know some guys are going to say, well, something's going to be brighter, it's going to be using more battery. I get it. So, I feel like the Galaxy S25 Ultra with its Vision Booster technology, they can make it where the screen is brighter, but it's not washing out any colors, and still more vivid, and plenty enough to see. So, I think Samsung can make a 3000 nits peak brightness for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And then maybe the Galaxy S Vanilla Plus and the the vanilla and the plus variant, maybe they could keep that brightness as well throughout the whole lineup. But that's not it. Not only I want the screen to be a little bit taller and wider and brighter, why not make it faster? Now, we've been stuck with 120Hz phones from Samsung since the Galaxy S20 series. Yes, that's right. The Galaxy S20 was the first from Samsung to have 120Hz. Now, while that doesn't seem, now you're probably saying, well, 120Hz is fine because most games are optimized for 120Hz. Yeah, that's fair enough. But what's stopping Samsung for doing a little more? What's stopping Samsung for putting itself against gaming phones and optimizing for 165Hz? I think that'll be perfect, don't you think? So they can make it the fastest, the brightest screen yet. I think there's no stopping Samsung from doing that. This could be the most fastest and brightest phone from Samsung we've seen yet. So I think, the S25 Ultra could use that. And for the Plus and the Vanilla, they can make it a little taller and wider as well. And, and maybe they could keep 120Hz. I don't know. Maybe they go up 165. I think, do you know what, in my opinion, 120Hz for the Vanilla and the Plus seems fine. And then put the Ultra, again, make it the all-in-one bagel of a flagship phone, in my opinion. So, that is what I think Samsung could do with the screen. Let's go on to the cameras. Alright, next up, let's talk about the cameras. Now, again, starting with the Galaxy S20 series, Samsung put a 108 megapixel camera in the Galaxy S20 Ultra. And then with the Galaxy S23, they went from 108 to 200 megapixels and kind of kept that with 24 Ultra. I really have nothing with the main camera being 200 megapixels, so I think that's plenty of fine. However, why not we just make the telephoto and ultra-wide cameras a little bit more improved? More to say, instead of 200, 10 and then 50 megapixels, why not for the ultra-wide angle camera, 200 megapixels? Not 200 megapixels, 50 megapixels. And then for the two telephoto cameras, 50 and 50. Now you're probably saying, why have all three ultra-wide and two telephoto cameras at 50? Because if you have the same pixels as the other cameras, number one, you're not losing quality over quantity, With keeping the same megapixels, you keep the same sharpness over time. All you're doing is you're changing from one lens with a higher focal length and another lens with a lower focal length for ultra wide and a zoom in, and also not only that, but with 100 times zoom, or do you know what? Instead of 100 times zoom, why not we just go to 120 times zoom for whatever's sake, I just think 200 times zoom, not 200 times zoom, 120 times zoom could just push the boundaries of zoom a little bit. Maybe we could zoom in and see more detailed craters. I don't know. But this is a wish list, This probably won't happen, but Samsung might stick with 100 times zoom, but let's just say Samsung wants to go with 120 times zoom, And with these 50 megapixel cameras working together, along with its AI magic in the cameras, maybe things could be a little bit sharper, a little bit sharper, a little bit color accurate, so that way, you guys can get more detailed photos. Like, I'm not saying you're not getting detailed photos if Samsung decides to stick with a 12 and a 50 and a 10, I'm just thinking if all three cameras were 50 megapixels, Samsung could, use more sharpening and more image and use more image stabilization in that area. So All three having 50 megapixel cameras, I think, will help with that. But that's it for the photo side. How about the video side? Because there's more that to just taking still photos. On the video side, I want Samsung to experiment on a couple things. Number one is kind of chip based, but we have 8K at 30 frames per second. Depending on the new Snapdragon chip, the 808, I'm not sure if the new chip can have 8K at 60 frames per second, but if it can, why not just push the video to 8K 60 frames per second and then 4K 120 frames per second, That would be nice and that would be good for slow motion photos. And then, you could dial it down in settings, have it to 60, 30, or whatever. So, you could have it cinematic or you could have it, nice and smooth. But alright. I think that's it for the cameras. Now it sounded very short. But next up, let's talk about the batteries as well. I think the batteries is the most important thing Samsung could really dial into. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the batteries. Now, the batteries for the Galaxy S25 Ultra needs to be more... I think we could use a little bit more battery in the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, we had a 5,000 mAh battery since the Galaxy S20. What a shocker. The three things Samsung has had, two things that Samsung has had have been implemented since the Galaxy S20 Ultra. So why not the Galaxy S20 Ultra, S20 Ultra, why not the Galaxy S25 Ultra get a bigger battery this time? Make it 1,000 more milliamps at 6,000 milliamp hours. So that way you get a little bit more days in it. And with Samsung's AI optimization, you could probably get a day or more out of it with light to moderate usage. Because think about it, we're always taking photos and videos, and for us tech enthusiasts, we always a really good phone. We're always gonna hit this camera hard. Hit this hit these smartphones hard. We're gonna test the battery limits, and while most tech enthusiasts go to geek benchmarks and look at single score and multi-core score, I don't think those are worth mentioning in the video, because to me, we're not going to be like, ooh, this phone has 1200 single core score and 16,000 multi-core score. People are going to focus on how well the battery performs, how fast the screen is at its refresh rate, and how's the camera gonna be doing all the light stuff. So I think the battery Samsung could really tune up a little bit. If it's 6,000 milliamp hours, again, that'll make it the highest battery in a phone yet. And some may say the reason why Samsung is sticking at 5,000 milliamp hours being comfortable is because of Note 7. I get it. The Note 7 was the first phone I ever mentioned and reviewed on my channel. And maybe Samsung might be scared of that. And look, Samsung, if you're watching this video, it's okay to look back, but also it's important to go and move forward. Keep your chin up. We're talking about, the Ultra series. You pioneered really good tech in your phones. Again, the Galaxy S20 Ultra had a 5,000 mAh battery. Why not make the S25 Ultra the biggest battery in the Galaxy S series ever at 6,000 mAh hours? And again, I know people are gonna say, well, having a big battery in a phone doesn't mean anything. Yes, and I'm pretty sure Samsung's gonna put more battery optimization with One UI 7 and Android 15. So, again, Samsung could push the boundaries with a lot of things. And I think Samsung could push the boundaries of batteries, because if the battery is bigger, it can go longer. And along with a bigger battery, why not have faster charging with it? Like, again, 45 watts, sounds a little bit weak. For a 6 mAh battery, 67 watts can make that thing charge fast. Then for fast wireless charging, super fast wireless charging, you can have that as 25 watts or 45 watts. And then you can have your reverse wireless charging and wireless power share and vice versa. I think, that would make it, again, a really big phone, a really big flagship phone for Samsung, Because I think a lot of people saying that Samsung is too afraid to innovate because there's no one else to compete with other than Apple. So again, Samsung could just use those three things with the Ultra and take it a step further. So I think the Galaxy S20 Ultra could use those things. But I'm not going to leave out the Vanilla and the Plus. The Vanilla and the Plus could also use a big battery as well, because most people don't want big phones. So if Samsung could put a slightly bigger battery in the Plus and the Vanilla, I don't know. What was the battery size of the S20 Plus and Vanilla? Let me see. Galaxy S24 Plus battery. It's giving me the actual. So it's 3880 for the S24 Ultra. So actually, hold on. It's 4,000, I think. I'm checking a look at it right now. Let's see. So yeah, 4,000 milliamp for the S24, and then 4,800, I think, for the S24 Plus. So maybe for the Galaxy S24 Plus, they can, for the S24, maybe keep it at 4,000, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they keep the same batteries and just have more battery optimization with One UI 7. I think, that's fine, I guess. And then maybe, for charging, maybe for the Plus, they could implement 67 watt fast charging, and then maybe 25 watts can remain on the S24, so that way you could charge it faster. So they keep the same rate. But yeah, I don't think I'll have to anything for the Plus. The cameras as well. I think the cameras for the Vanilla and the Plus can be the same. Doesn't hurt to maybe innovate a little bit more. But I think I guess the camera trio is perfect on the S25 and S25 Plus. So I guess really nothing change on there. Again, I think most of the changes are going to be on the Ultra. I want the Ultra to be a heavy hitter phone, and then little things could trickle down to the Plus and the Vanilla. So I think that's it for the Galaxy S series. Let's move on to the Galaxy Z series. Alright, so we talked about the Galaxy S series. Let's move on to the Galaxy Z series, which, if you guys don't know, the Galaxy Z series are for the foldables, And I think the foldables this year have gone a little bit less ultra tier treatment. More because, it just feels like Samsung is using leftover parts from its S24 Plus, and I think Samsung can really spice things up with the Fold series this year. So again, it's a little bit more this time. Actually, let's just keep it and then we'll iterate on. So same three things: screen, camera, battery, and then other features. So let's get into those things. Alright, starting off with the screen. Now, the Z Fold 6 has, I think, a usable screen, but however, I agree with most. It's still a little bit narrow. Like, can you guys agree this looks narrow to you? Imagine this was a little bit wider, you know. This was a little bit wider. This could be more usable. And this thing was, and let's say the inner screen was wider. You guys could see more. Now, a good template Samsung could use this from is they could take all that stuff from the Z Fold Special Edition and use it for the Galaxy Fold 7. So, for example, the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition had a much taller, wider screen. Instead of 6.3, it went 6.5 inches for the cover display, which I think is perfect. But what if they went a little bit more than that and gave it a 6.7 inch display or 6.8 inch display, making it more wider and taller and usable? I think that would be fine. And then when you unfold it, you know, instead of instead of a 6.7 inch display, why not have it around 8 inches or 8.2 inches, you know, so you could see a little bit more on your screen. Like, I'm not saying, you know, this is not perfect enough, but what if this was more wider, you know? What if this was wider, you could see more screen real estate? You know, I think that would be a more usable screen. And, you know, the same thing with the S25 Ultra, what I gave it. This could be brighter too, at 3000 nits peak brightness, you know, and then faster as well. For the inner and outer screen, they can make this be 165 Hz on both the cover and the foldable screen. So I think why not? Why not they go with that for the screen? So I guess those things Samsung could really use on. Again, for the screen, 6.7 inch cover screen, and then for the inner screen, they can make it 8.2 inches. Why not push the screen limits a little bit more with a brighter and faster refresh rate screen on the Z series? I think that would do it a whole lot more better than what we have now with the Fold 6. So let's talk about the next segment, which are the batteries. No, the cameras, sorry. Let's talk about the cameras. Alright, so moving on with the cameras for the Z Fold 7, I want Samsung to put more Galaxy S Ultra cameras on the Z Fold 7, because the Z Fold 6, I believe, has good enough cameras, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to have ultra level cameras. Like, again, talking about the Z Fold Special Edition, those cameras are that has a 200 megapixel main camera. Like, what? Samsung just showed us we can innovate. Let's do it. And they put a 200 megapixel main camera on the Z Fold Special Edition. So, to give us that main camera on the Z Fold Special Edition, put it on the Z Fold 7. And then for the ultra wide cameras, again, have that be 50 megapixels. And then for the 3x telephoto camera, make that 50 megapixels. And then why not? For the 10x zoom lens, have that 50 megapixels as well. So that way it will be the same cameras from the S25 Ultra, speculatively, if that's even a word, and put that on the Z Fold 7. So that way it's the same treatment as the Ultra, because the Z Fold 6 has Galaxy S24 Plus like cameras. Like, come on, Samsung, we can make this feel like an Ultra phone and not like a Plus tier phone that folds in half. Like, I love I love the Z Fold 6, but it doesn't hurt to put a little bit more in that. And again, all the camera magic with the zooming and the AI and the ultra smooth video, that can all be put on the S24 and S24, sorry, the Z Fold 7. What do you guys think? Sound off. Would you guys think the Z Fold 7 deserves better cameras? Let me know, because I could just be talking to a void. But again, it's my wish list. Make your wish list in the comment section down below. And let's move on to the last segment, second to last segment, which are the batteries. Alright, so the batteries are the most important part of the phone. And I think the Z Fold 6, while it does get me through a whole day on a light to moderate use, why not we just put more batteries in it so that way it'll get me through, I don't know, maybe a good 1 to 2 days of light to moderate usage. Imagine this phone had a 5,000 mAh battery. A 5,000 mAh battery that could last for 1 to 2 days, and let's say I need to charge it up. Give me faster charging. 67 watt fast charging, the same as theoretically the S25 Ultra. This thing could be, the most fastest charging fold yet. And also the biggest battery in the fold yet. That can carry me through more days. Wouldn't that be impressive? And have faster wireless charging as well. Give it 25 watt super fast wireless charging. That would be nice. That'll be putting it next to other foldables outside the United States. Because, I've seen posts of literally Honor roasting Samsung on, it not innovating. So if Samsung could give us fastest charge, a more higher rated battery with faster charging, Samsung in the US could be knocking out of the park with the Fold. And I really hold the Fold close to my heart. I think it's one of the most productive devices on the United States, and I use this a whole lot, unfolded and unfolded. So having a bigger battery, faster charging, and faster wireless charging could knock it out of the park for most people. And not only that, but just for the heck of it, G2 wireless charging as well. For God's sake, for the S25 series, because okay, let's put that S25 series, put G2 wireless charging. Same thing with the Fold 7, G2 wireless charging. That with faster wireless charging, so that way I can get a full battery in maybe half an hour or less. So yeah, I think that covers it for the battery. Let's move on to special other features. Alright, other features, easy. The S Pen, The S Pen, as you guys could see, is pretty cool, I use it to take notes and do a little bit, but there's no other place to put it. There's cases like this where you could just put it on the side or on the back, or there's a little pouch. I have a little pouch here somewhere, but you could put it in a little pouch and keep going. But let's just face it, with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, Samsung has a way of putting it literally inside the phone. Why not with the Z Fold 7? If they can make it just a little bit thick enough to put the S Pen in it, so that way we don't have to worry about buying a case for it. It's already included in the phone itself. So at first I was like, why not put the pen in the box? Heck, why not just give us an embedded S Pen? Because think about it. The Fold is a productivity device, same as the Ultra. Why not just give us an embedded S Pen like the Ultra So that way we don't have to worry about losing it. All you gotta do is, this was in like over here. I'm trying to show you guys. All you gotta do is just like pops right out, take it right out, and do it like this. Alright. And also, while on topic of the S Pen, why not let us write on the cover screen? Like, it's gonna be, since the Galaxy Fold 3, we can't write on the cover screen. What's the reason for that? What's the reason for that? Like, imagine you're a waiter, right? And someone wants to take your order. The worst you gotta do is, if let's say, theoretically the pen's not gonna be included with the phone, you have to buy it with a case. Okay, sir. You said you want a hamburger with sauteed onions and fries, pickles. It's already too late by the time you write down your notes. Right? If you just want to write on the cover screen, you could just do this. I'm trying to show you a little bit hard, but you can just do this. You can write on the cover screen, and you could do right on the cover screen, put the pen in the silo, call it a day. Just like the Ultra. That wouldn't hurt. I would love to have Samsung add that functionality. Again, a bad S Pen and the ability to have us write on the cover screen, I think would make this the most best productive note yet, in my opinion. So, I think I covered everything. So, let's just wrap up the video. Alright guys, I know it's going to be a long video, so I'm just going to wrap it up. So I think I covered mostly everything on the Galaxy S and the Galaxy Z series. Again, stay tuned to my channel as we're talking about my expectations or my wish list for Google and Apple for 2025. So definitely stay tuned for that. And also, become a member of my Discord server as well, so you guys can see some exclusive videos on there as well. But, thank you guys for watching my video. Make sure you guys subscribe to both for more videos like this. Well, as if you like, comment, share, follow me on social media for updates on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and to catch you guys next video. And also, I want to give you guys a huge thanks to my subscribers. Here's a little top 10 list. I have my subscribers here, and on my right side, I will have my my Discord members there too. Which, if you guys do join or become a subscriber, you have a chance to become part of my roll screens at the end of my video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this is Tech with Chris. This is Tech with Chris signing out. Peace.